I don't know if those count as finger guns, but it's really important to me that all of you know that Cynthia and I were just dancing to that music in the background, and it's kind of a pre-gaming ritual that we do. Welcome to Innovate Her KC, IHKC Live. Very, very excited to be with you today. My name is Lauren Conaway. I am the founder and CEO of Innovate Her KC. And for those who haven't heard, we are a leadership community for over 8,400 women and gender minorities across the Kansas City metro. We offer our members a lot, community connections, a strong and supportive network. We do professional and leadership development, social justice and awareness events, and we definitely try to connect our members to mentors, champions, and give them that visibility that they need within the community. So very, very excited to have you here today. If you haven't heard, next week kicks off Global Entrepreneurship Week. Kansas City is actually home to the largest Global Entrepreneurship Week celebration in the entire world. And we are very, very excited to kick it off and share all kinds of amazing entrepreneurial resources, events, networking opportunities. Yes, very, very excited for GEW. And we've got two experts from KCSourceLink here to talk to us. But first things first, before I bring them up, I'm going to bring up Cynthia Robinson, executive producer of IHKC Live. Hi, Cynthia.
Hey.
She's very excited to be here. Can't you tell? Well, so Cynthia is going to kick us off with quirky questions. And I shudder to think of what's coming. Sometimes she stretches the limits of my imagination, but I'm really, really excited to see what Becca Castro and Callie England of KCSourceLink have to add to the conversation. Hello, friends. Callie, Becca, welcome.
Hey. Hi there.
Well, we are so glad to have you here today, and I am going to give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves a little bit more fully, but first things first, we want to hear what makes you tick. Cynthia, take it away.
Are you ready? All right, 3 questions. First thing that comes to mind, don't overthink it. We're going to start with Lauren on all of these so that Callie and Becca, you have a little bit of extra time to think about it. Be kind to your guests, Lauren. Be kind to your guests. Okay, first question. What's the most unexpected skill or hobby that you have?
I know. Okay, I got mine. This is such a dumb talent, but I can whistle really, really well. I actually, you know that song Mockingbird by the Beatles? Mm-hmm. There's like a whistling part in it. So I performed that once, and I did a whistling solo with it. And a woman in the audience tapped my mom on the shoulder and was like, does she have an instrument in her mouth? And I was like, no, I'm just that good at whistling. Such a dubious talent, has not served me in any way, but it's fun.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. I feel like Callie has a lot of talents, so I'm going to go before she does, so that I don't
nice.
I feel like I don't know. I don't do a lot of things in my spare time that are fun. I can move my ears. This is something that I worked on a lot when I was younger. And my girls are like excited by that. So when you have young kids, it doesn't take much to excite them. So yeah, that's an unexpected talent that I use I don't use very frequently.
Okay.
I dig it.
Oh my gosh. I'm like the master hobbyist. Like never met a hobby I didn't want to like take up. Like that is my thing. However, when it comes to talents, like secret talents, because a lot of people know about my hobbies, I can find anybody. You need to get, like, you can give me a screen grab of their eye and be like, their first name starts with a T. And I'll be like, that's Tom Jones. He lives in Arkansas and he's 22 years old. It comes in hand. Like,
well, so wait a minute. I actually, because like, so I've seen this. Are you like an online investigator? Like, are you doing Google searches, Google Lens matches, like stuff like that?
No, it's just always been a joke with my friends when they need to find someone, or like, especially when we're younger, and I'd be like, who is that boy at the bar? And within like 2 hours, I'd like, there you go. There's his LinkedIn. Do you need his phone number too? So they all know this about me. I will find you.
We're going to log that one in the Rolodex.
I know. I'm totally filing it away for future
Call
reference.
Callie. You need to find Callie.
All right, I'll tell you what, Callie, I will gladly utilize your skill. If you ever need a whistler, I got you, babe. Don't even worry. Okay.
All right. Second question. If your life journey had a soundtrack, what would be the most played song on it?
Yeah,
Go for it, Lauren.
that is such a...
I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, in all fairness, so
That's true.
should be top of mind for you.
Yeah. Well, all right. So one of the songs that we talked about yesterday was Whitney Houston's "Wanna Dance with Somebody." I don't feel like that's a fun song. I don't feel like it like correlates to my life though. So it just changes a lot, but I'm going to go with, have you ever seen The Greatest Showman?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that song by Kiala Settle. And like, I just feel like my entire life I've been a phoenix rising through the ashes, and then a phoenix rising through the ashes. And then like this changed, and then I pivoted here. And so highly changeable, and like been through some shit, and I'm still here. And so right now, that is the song that I like, that'll change, and it changes based on my mood. But I think that's
That's where you're at right now.
This Is Me.
I like it.
All right.
Awesome.
I'll go. So mine, I think, would be "Here Comes the Sun," the Beatles.
Ooh,
For
I like it.
for many reasons. I mean, I used to sing along while my dad played on the guitar, and so it's just like near and dear to my heart. But then I also joke that I am solar powered, so I require the sun to survive. It's so necessary. So living in the Midwest can be difficult in the coming months. And then I think also I tend to be an optimist. I'm always like, okay, this is gonna pass. Like the sunshine will come. So yeah, for all those reasons, I think that would be a reoccurring theme in my soundtrack.
I dig it.
All right.
I mean, never could I answer this question without doing a serious deep dive into my Spotify. I will say that lately I've been making a joke that my life is like a series of bad decisions. It's just like, what bad decision am I deciding at the time? So whatever song you want to put with that is literally like, what bad thing am I going to get into today? Here are the two.
So there's this song by Paramore called "Hard Times," and
Oh,
the thing is, Haley Williams, like, she has such like a happy voice, and she's just like, everything sucks, and today is gonna be just such a slog, but she just sounds really happy about it. And I'm like, some days that feels like my theme song.
You know that. So that record came out when I was letting go of Roxy's, and I believe it's called Rose Colored. Isn't it called like Rose Colored Glasses? Like, isn't that that's the name of one of her songs? But I think it's the name of the album too. And
maybe.
And then like he talks about being fake happy, and I was like, that was me towards the end of my first business. Like, just like you show up and you're just completely fake happy, you're checked out. So that was the sound. That's funny you said that, because that whole album was like something that I couldn't have come at a better time and like listened to on repeat.
Yeah.
Right. She has like a very cute way of, producing it.
I know. I'm like, I feel toe tappy and sad at the same time.
I am also like, I'm miserable.
Yeah. Like there's a bit of cognitive dissonance in that, but I dig it, apparently.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Last question, and then hopefully this will be an alley-oop into the business at hand for the rest of this podcast. But if you showed up to a potluck with a dish that represents who you are as an entrepreneur or as an ecosystem builder, what would be in that dish, and who's the first person that you'd hand a plate to?
Oh my
You're
gosh,
welcome.
these are so hard.
Notice I'm asking the questions and not.
I mean, I love the questions, but not for me. Okay.
Oh, okay. I still maintain that teeth questions are the ones that I like. I physically recoil.
Yeah. What tooth I'd rather keep.
I have no idea why, but I immediately went to Thanksgiving food. Like, I think that's just where my head's at. And I went to green bean casserole.
All right.
which is like the most basic white bitch thing I could have picked. But that being said, I'm like, vaguely nutritious, a little salty. Sometimes you can crazy it up by adding the like broken up onion pieces on top of it. Like we can kind of pretend that it's healthy. So we're taking our medicine in like a completely chaotic sort of way.
That was a really great answer.
Okay. I don't know why that's where my head went though.
And all the things that make it work. Yeah.
This is the season.
I love it.
All right.
Okay, so Callie and Becca, you can either answer this question or the teeth question.
This question or the what or the
which tooth would you keep?
the tooth. Oh,
that is a really difficult question to answer. Like we talked really about it way too long.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the food question.
Okay.
Haven't thought it through. Let's see what happens here.
Okay.
But the first thing that came to mind was green chili enchiladas, because it's just like kind of comfort for me. It's a process of roasting the chilies and kind of like preparing everything before you put it together into this like yummy creation. I feel like most people like it. It's a little spicy. I don't know. I have a lot of fun making it. So I don't know what that says to me about an ecosystem builder, but I do feel like I like to be intentional as I think about connections I make. And then you bring it together and you don't really know what magic's going to come out of it, but usually there's something that comes
People
out
enjoy
of it.
it.
So, yeah.
There we go. I like it.
I would probably do, I don't like eating on plates. I don't like when my food is separated. So I always do like a lot of salads and cold salads. And I think that actually kind of represents me because I'm a maximalist and like minimalism's like not really my thing. So, and I've always been told that I have a way of putting like 35 things in a bowl and all of a sudden it tastes good. So that's probably what I would do. Like some big cold salad. Like I love slaws. I like even like shaved, like Brussels sprout salads, like just something that holds well and lots of different ingredients.
Feels like that's what's happening with the work that you all are doing, building GEW right now.
Yeah.
That was the alley-oop right there. Did you see that face? She knows that's the alley-oop. She's like, I did that on purpose.
All right, bye y'all.
I'm wearing 25 different hats. Absolutely. Segue.
And then we just hope magic comes out the other end, right?
Yeah. Tip of the hat to you, executive producer. Well done. And my friends, Becca, Callie, thank you so much for being with us here today. I'm really excited for GEW. First things first, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you came to Global Entrepreneurship Week?
Sure.
And I'll go ahead. I should just like, Becca, if you wouldn't mind kicking us off, that'd be great.
Yeah, that way Callie and I don't have to look at each other and try and decide who's going to go first.
I got
So yeah, Becca Castro, I lead KCSourceLink and Missouri SourceLink at the UMKC Innovation Center. And yeah, I mean, how I came to this work.
Global Entrepreneurship Week, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing Global Entrepreneurship Week as an organization for quite a while. And, you know, my background's in workforce development and adult learning and innovation and entrepreneurship. And so this was just like the natural next fit to be able to work at the ecosystem level and do events like GEW that bring people together and just provide connections for entrepreneurs and professional development. And
yeah. You want to know what's crazy, Becca? I think the first time I actually met you was Startup Hustle. Didn't I? We did a Startup Hustle interview with you, and you had like it was like you were 2 weeks into the ecosystem. You had come from a very different spot. So it's been so lovely to watch your growth within the ecosystem. It's been awesome.
Yeah. So I remember that interview.
Yeah. Callie, how about you?
So I'll give you like the long shortened version. It's like medium. So, I took this role at the Innovation Center. I'm the marketing director here at UMKC Innovation Center. I was 5 months into a 2-year treatment for relapse stage 4 cancer. I took this role, and on the table, one of the items was Global Entrepreneurship Week. Now, I had been a previous entrepreneur, and it never really been a marketing initiative. Marketing never really held it. It was held by a few different departments. But at the time, knowing that I just needed something to kind of occupy my mind and remind me of what I've done in the past, just restructuring and revitalizing, and also being able to serve the community, I was like, give it to me. So 3 years ago, I took the marketing role here at UMKC, and that's how global entrepreneurship kind of came to be under marketing here. And that was sort of the start of really streamlining it, creating this idea of having a conference, maybe a little bit less is more, and then getting it restructured and then starting to build it.
Yeah. Well, it's been really exciting to watch, and in particular, like that tightening up of the brand identity. I think like there is such a strong visual and vibe kind of identity attached to Global Entrepreneurship Week now, and it's really it's kind of fabulous to watch. Well, so my first question, I'm going to back us up to the 10,000 foot view a little bit. And I'm just going to ask you, as people who are deeply embedded within the entrepreneurial community of Kansas City, what do you think makes our ecosystem different from others? And I'm going to go ahead, Callie, why don't you go ahead and talk to us?
Yeah, I think we have like Midwest nice going for us. And I think what makes it different is, my first company, I started in the Bay Area. I started in Northern California. I had all of the resources, all of the access to the people I needed to be in touch with around me, but it was very hard to navigate, and it was very hard to build those relationships, and it was very hard to get the conversations. When I moved back to Kansas City, I just noticed such a stark difference in how we show up, how we support one another, how we champion entrepreneurs. And in the Bay Area, yes, you can get the context that you need, but you also need that support system. You need the champions. You need people rallying behind you. In larger cities, I did a lot of work, in New York and LA and San Francisco. It's a little bit more like every man for themselves. And so I think that we offer just a little bit more of a community aspect when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Yeah. I can definitely like the accessibility and the immediacy is really, really powerful here for sure. Becca, how about you?
I mean, I would agree with Callie. I think that is what I hear from other ecosystem builders around the country, is that we seem to be collaborative and open and welcoming to entrepreneurs. I think the other thing is we're pretty lucky to have like Kauffman Foundation in our backyard, and UMKC Innovation Center has a lot going on in terms of offerings. And then you have these like smaller nonprofits who are really focusing on a specific type of support, and so you bring all that together, and it really is a pretty comprehensive offering. I know we always need more capital.
Yeah.
But really, if you do look at it compared to other cities our size, we have a lot going on.
We really do when you benchmark us against our peer cities. And I give a lot of credit to the Kauffman Foundation, knowing that we have such a large and well-respected institution in our backyard. But you just kind of segued me very nicely into my next question. So I think that all three of us have seen the ecosystem grow and change. And so just as a for instance, like Maria Myers, who is the leader at KCSourceLink. I always call her, and she gets embarrassed when I do this, but I will do this every single time. I call her the godmother of the Kansas City's entrepreneurial ecosystem, because before KCSourceLink and the Kauffman Foundation, there wasn't much of a coalesced entrepreneurial point. There wasn't a lot of density. There wasn't a lot of things happening for entrepreneurs as a community. Right. And so we've all seen the ecosystem kind of grow and change from those very, very humble beginnings. Since you have started working with within the entrepreneurial space, what have you seen grow and change? What have you seen that has maybe gotten better? And Becca, I'm curious to hear your beat on this one.
Well, I mean, like I said in the beginning, I'm an optimist. So, I mean, I think about the evolution of the ecosystem, and back in 2012, like when Google Fiber came, that was kind of a point in which there was a lot of energy and people were coming together, a lot of grassroots activity. And then I think sometimes when funding or when structures get more formalized, it creates some competition, some territorial behavior. And so I think we're experiencing that. And now I kind of see us as on that upswing again. I think that people are interested in us coming together and taking concrete action. And we've seen that a lot through the ecosystem work we're doing through Forging the Future. So we're bringing organizations together and identifying specific ways that we can improve and fill the gaps. And so to me, I feel really optimistic about where we are. I do think that we're coming together and like figuring it out. I think with the loss of some federal funding and some just funding in general becoming even tighter, I think that you can react in one of two ways. You can reach out to your partners and say, how do we figure this out? Or you can become very fearful and kind of fall into that scarcity mindset, which I think I'm in and out of those two things in a given day, but like really try and lean into how do we collaborate so that we can serve entrepreneurs and make our city a great place to start a business.
Yeah. Well, and Callie, I'm going to ask you the same here in just a minute, but, speaking to that scarcity mindset, one of the things that I know Global Entrepreneurship Week is set to address is that feeling of scarcity and maybe even fear. So just as for instance, I think the first Monday of GEW is ESO Day, right? So the folks who lead organizations that support this very fragile but very robust ecosystem get to come together and share best practices and talk through things. And so, if you are a member of an ESO team, like please come on out, learn. So Callie, how about you? You're coming from a really, really fabulous perspective as both an entrepreneur and then now someone who's working in an ESO. How have you seen the ecosystem change?
Yeah, I have to be careful because I talk like an entrepreneur. So I'll give it to you from kind of like an entrepreneurial standpoint, right? When I moved back in 2012, we had a lot going for us, and there was a lot of excitement and a lot of people just really supporting entrepreneurs coming together weekly. I mean, 1 million cups, like it was at its peak. And you started to see that fizzle out over the next, 4 years, 2015, 2016, 2017, almost to the point where you start thinking like, is entrepreneurship dead in Kansas City? For some of us who aren't actively, I took a role and I'm revitalizing, restructuring brands for someone else. So I'm kind of checked out, but I am paying attention. And I think what happened was, I don't think, we talked about Midwest, and I think one of the things we're not great at is failing. And I think failure really scares people. And so I think what happened was 2012, a lot of us who had businesses and everyone thought like, oh, wow, these businesses are going to really do well. We started to really experience the reality of entrepreneurship, the reality of failure, the reality of turnover. And instead of just kicking right back up after we fail, we tended to like do this in the Midwest. Like, you know what, I'm just going to run away and I'm never going to touch that again. I think that kind of hurts us as serial entrepreneurs, but I think we needed a little bit of time to recover. So I sort of say like in the past 10 years, it's been like, yes. Oh my gosh, reality. No. And now we've had enough time to like forget about the trauma. And we're like, okay, let's do it again. So that's kind of how I feel about the energy of it is like, we've forgotten, which is great, but we are seeing numbers climbing. So I do think it kind of represents that.
It is totally cyclical. And I'll tell you, so last year I went to I can't even remember, Startups to Watch, Startland, I think. I went to a big ecosystem event. And I remember it was so funny because I do see that the community is cyclical. Like you just kind of see waves of action, and then you see like scaling and growth. And like you said, like it all kind of starts over again. And what was so interesting is I'm in a room and there are people across all ends of the spectrum, brand spanking new entrepreneurs. They've got a great idea and all the enthusiasm in the world. And then we have the folks who've been around the block a few times. And it was so funny because as I was talking to them, I'm asking them questions like, hey, how you doing? How's the community treating you? Are you feeling welcomed? And all of the newbies were just so excited that like everybody's been so great and it's wonderful and I can't wait to get started. And then Callie, Becca, the folks of like our generation, every single person I talked to was like, well, I'm still at it. Just like you can just tell that they're like, they've just been beat by life, but it's like, we're still going to keep going and moving forward. And I'm just like, yeah, that sounds about right.
It's a different energy.
It is a lovely community, but I would never say it's an easy community.
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you this. We're talking about the community at large. And one of the things that I know serves as a linchpin in the community is Global Entrepreneurship Week. And I mean, just to let our viewers know and let Becca, Callie, GEW is one of the really meaningful ways that I connected to the Kansas City entrepreneurial ecosystem. I didn't know anybody here when I moved here from St. Louis, and 1 Million Cups and Global Entrepreneurship Week were the way that I met people and that I got eventually, ultimately welcomed and then embraced within this community. And so it's just such a fabulous gateway. But I want to ask, that's what Global Entrepreneurship Week means to me. And so I want to ask, what does Global Entrepreneurship Week mean to you? Callie, as an entrepreneur and as someone who now is at KCSourceLink, what does Global Entrepreneurship Week mean? What does it represent for you?
I think it really represents how giving our community is. When you asked earlier what sets us apart, it is that giving component. It's the fact that we're willing to, for free, put on an event. Speakers come out, they give up their time so that they can give back to other entrepreneurs. And so I think it's really representative, or really represents our community well, and how we are always willing to help entrepreneurs, and we want to see them succeed. I tell people all the time that you'll be surprised how many people want you to succeed. When you start a business, you realize it. But we want people truly to succeed. And I think it really represents the mindset and the giving nature of Kansas City.
Yeah. That just made me feel so good. I'm just all warm and fuzzy inside. Becca, how about you?
I mean, for me, this is like the most exciting time of the year, right? So I used to be with Launch KC, and Global Entrepreneurship Week was the week that we threw our celebration announcing the next cohort. And so it's always kind of represented that celebration time, that connection, time to connect and really kind of show off what's been going on. The other thing I love about it is that it really allows for people in the ecosystem to provide their expertise to their peers. So, we're not going up there and presenting, it's sourcing all of these amazing speakers from the community who get to share with their peers. And I just think that peer-to-peer engagement is so important. It's a really kind of busy and a little stressful time for us on the inside, but once the week arrives, it's like kicks off with a bang with the SO day, and then Launch KC's Monday night, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just tons of great sessions. Our Spanish track, to me it's like just once we get there, I'll be able to really enjoy it and just see all those connections being made, and it's a celebration.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, around Innovate Her KC, so one of our foundational ethics is low barrier to entry. And GEW is just about as low barrier as you can get. If you sort of, kind of, maybe a little bit thought you were an entrepreneur one day, come on out. Listen, learn, engage, connect. And I can't tell you how many well-established entrepreneurs and founders I know that they started at GEW, because it's a really, really fabulous way to evaluate and engage with this community that you might not otherwise have visibility into, right? If it feels scary, being an entrepreneur can feel scary when you're getting started, but having, people to hold your hand and people who've been there before, that's why, like that peer-to-peer thing, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about commonality of experience, right? So I love that. It's such a crucial part of this community. Now, I am curious, and I know that you can't have favorites, and I'm not saying that any of these are favorites. I'm just saying, friends, do you have any sessions that you're particularly excited about? All of them are going to be great. Disclaimer, nobody needs to worry. We love everybody here. But do you have a few that you're particularly looking forward to? Did you like that disclaimer? They're
mean,
not
if-
going to say it, but I'm going to say it.
Yes, and honestly, at this point, there's so many sessions, so it's just like a matter of what pops into my mind first. But one of them is Brandy Archie of Ask Sammy. She's partnering with Digital Health KC, and so she's going to really walk through the process of taking an idea and, kind of creating the business behind the idea, particularly with digital health companies. And so I think that'll be a hands-on workshop that people will walk away with more clarity on whatever it is they've been thinking about. Janae Gamage is going to do like a live session. I'm not exactly sure where it ended up, but it'll be great around capital and kind of the real talk around capital. What else, Callie?
Well, first off, Wednesday, we have a really great tech lineup. So what we did on Wednesday was we staffed our tech so that you can come in the morning and you can stay all day. Really great tech sessions. Another great session is Tuesday morning. I'm pretty excited about this one. It's Scott Weir. He's the director of IAMI, director of cancer biology. And he's bringing together some pretty heavy hitters that, you normally wouldn't get to talk to, right? These are scientists. These are, it's just like people who, this is what GEW is all about, is like, who do you need to get in touch with that you might not be able to? And they're going to be talking about how they used advisors to build what they've built with IAMI. And I think that is an incredible session for anyone trying to build anything, because if you're going to be successful in entrepreneurship, you need to find the person you need to know, and you need to figure out how you get them on your side. So that session kicks off Tuesday at 9 a.m., I believe. That's one I'm really excited about. Amy McDaniel, she is so talented. This is her first year doing a presentation. She does a lot of the food photography, like for Billy's Grocery. And so she's talking about content. So I think she's a really cool person to learn from, because she's sort of that modern influencer content creator that we are seeing kind of trending in the entrepreneurship space. Kaufman is actually doing a session on Thursday that's not even really for the entrepreneur, it's for the ESO, and they are flying in people from other ecosystems that might be just a little bit further ahead than Kansas City, and what can we learn and how do we get funding? And so that one is for the ESOs, and if I were an ESO, I would be for sure coming out to that Thursday afternoon. I am sitting on a panel with Bo Nelson and Alex. Bo Nelson has Dalmaeus and Alex has West Bottom whiskey. And we're going to talk about the legal storm that consumer product goods can be. We've all been sued. We've all had cease and desist. We've done trademarking. And that's another thing, like we don't have a big CPG community here. So maybe if we provide more resources, we'll have more of it. So that panel, not because I sit on it, it's just something that I'm kind of passionate about topic wise. That's Wednesday afternoon, and then followed by a happy hour by Hush Blackwell. I mean, there's like, I could keep going.
There's so much stuff. I did notice there's a maker market that's running, and I know that there are a ton of innovators in there. Incidentally, Cynthia, we have officially reached the time of year where I'm going to have to deal with this little light thing because the sun is coming in at exactly the right angle. So if you, incidentally, friends, if you see me like shifting awkwardly, it's because I'm trying to avoid having a shaft of light up my nose. So anyway, but we do have a lot of innovators in the maker market. So, I mean, we've got Crowned Illustrations, and I know that they have a location in Porterhouse, KC, that 811 retail space. We've got Raquel Rodriguez. She's one of our members. Just kind of scrolling through the list, and if I miss anybody, forgive me. But Asia Lights. Destiny Bounds is going to be there, Clarissa Knight, and these are all members of Innovate Her KC. I know that Janae, who sits on our leadership team, her session is actually Tuesday, and it's Money Movers Live. So if you're looking to connect with members of Innovate Her KC, like please do me a favor, go to GEWKC.com, and you have to build out your agenda, and they make it so easy. And I'm very curious, Callie and Becca, about your choice of management software, because it makes it, the system that you use makes it so easy to just like put things on your calendar and connect with other resources. Can you talk to us about that a little bit? Like kind of what people can expect from the website? Because it's so practically helpful. And I don't know if enough people know that. Becca, I don't even know, Becca, Callie, who's better to answer this question? who's on
Callie
the
can
system.
take it, and I'll jump in with one last thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So we use a platform called Huba, and it's really interesting because in the space of event management, there is either like mom and pa, and it's not that great, or there's like 20,000 plus software. Huba
Yeah.
owns the market that is this like mid-size app built for institutions that don't have the $20,000 budget, but are throwing an event of somebody of a corporation. And so that's the market that they live in. It's a really great app. There's a lot of entrepreneurs on their team, and it's, nothing is ever perfect, and I can be a fault finder, but Huva has been my most favorite. It's very easy. You download the app. We have our parking is free. You have your parking code. You have your floor map. Everything links, and every year Huva, it is like better than the last. And so I really appreciate that, from a team. So it's been great to work with them, and you just you'll want to download the app because that's really the easiest way to get everything that you need and build your agenda. But yeah, that's kind of we worked with a different company, and last year was the first with Huva, and we'll probably never look back.
So, like, full disclosure, when I when I go in and build out my agenda, and I always try to put the innovator-led events first, but like sometimes I'll have to like double book myself for stuff. All of the I get so many notifications over GEW week, and I'm like, hey folks, you don't have to say yes to the notifications. I do because I'm weird and anal retentive like that. But it's very easy to look at my calendar over the course of a week, because it's a week of programming, and it's a lot of programming that's available to you. So being able to manage it in a way that makes sense and that it kind of integrates with my schedule is just really helpful. And I'm always just so grateful for that. And I don't think we talk about it enough, the systems of ease that we need to use. So thank you for that. But so go on to Huva. I recommend that you download the app. It's actually really fun. Some of the presenters will go on and like ask fun questions and like networking, thought leadership and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun. Are there any particular partners that we need to thank? Is there any, because like, for instance, I know that Hush Blackwell, they always do the happy hour, right? Callie, I think you maybe said it, but like that's always a really, really fun shindig where like it's kind of homecoming for the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Like, are there any other events like that we should highlight that are maybe kind of the entry points with the big partners that are really invested in the community?
There's a couple I'll highlight, Callie, and then you can fill in. AltCap, it's their 10-year anniversary. And so AltCap Your Biz, they're having a pitch competition on Wednesday night. And so that'll be at Union Station as well, and giving away more money than I believe they ever have.
Yeah.
And really great entrepreneurs that are going to be pitching, and they've been working really hard on that. So come out and support them. Yeah.
So I actually did the pitch coaching session. And so just so y'all know, Makbad is going to be there. That's Christy Vincent, who's a member of Innovate Her KC. We've got Bliss Books and Wine. Lanisha Frazier is going to be pitching, one of our OG members. So innovators are just kind of plastered all over that event, which is really exciting.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's another event that's new, Sessions on the Road. So Keystone Sessions, which happens every Wednesday, they're going to do it at the World War I Museum during GEW KC. And so I just love us being in spaces like Union Station and World War I museum.
Yeah.
It just brings this more into the mainstream, which I love. And there's a great panel for that evening. What else is, one other thing that I think is important is the breakfast, lunch, and happy hours are provided, and there's not going to be any programming during those times. And so I think it's a great opportunity for people to really network. Last year, I think we had stuff going on at lunch, and so it's nice to eat and listen, but it's even better to eat and chit chat.
Yeah.
And what you've learned. So each of those sessions is sponsored. We've had wonderful sponsors this year, so really appreciate them. Kaufman Foundation is hosting 1 Million Cups. There's a lot going on Wednesday. These are all like Wednesday things that are coming to mind.
Yeah.
And then something really exciting is they're rolling out 1 Million Cups in Spanish. And so that'll be Thursday. It'll be the first time that they do 1 Million Cups in Spanish. So excited about that session. They're also going to do a little bit of fast track as a workshop. So kind of give gives people an opportunity to understand the value of that course and to go through it together with others in that environment.
Yeah. Man, those are some incredible resources. Callie, I know that you were expounding on a couple that are near and dear to your heart, but do you have any partner events that you want to point to?
Yeah, Kaufman with Fast Track and 1 Million Cups are hosting a happy hour Tuesday.
Are they?
Evening. They are. So I think that that's a really great one to come to if you're new to the ecosystem, especially if you're new. That's a good one. We have Thursday. So last year went over really well. It was probably our busiest event was SBDC does their graduation in the planetarium. That is private. And then they open it up and do a happy hour. And that happy hour will be with the Spanish track. So there should be quite a few people Thursday afternoon. Breakfasts are all sponsored. I think that kind of covered it.
And that sounds incredible. So really, just to the folks at home, playing at home, who maybe haven't attended Global Entrepreneurship Week before, GEW is absolutely about learning, and I encourage you to do all that you can, because you're not going to find a better opportunity for economical and accessible information. But GEW is just as much about the networking, right? I mean, I can't tell you how many relationships I have that started with GEW and became profitable business relationships and or friendships. Some of them, sometimes both at the same time. So,
and on that note, really quick, this is new, so I want to mention.
Yeah.
I could get this wrong, but I believe it's tomorrow, Thursday. Square One is doing a session on how to network, because for some of us introverts, it can be uncomfortable. And so ahead of GEW, they thought they'd pull together a session just to kind of talk through, like, how do you make the most out of these networking opportunities during GEW?
I love that so much.
Square One, and they'll have the information there.
Yeah. I actually teach a workshop called Awkward Networking 101. And it's because so many people, I love you all, but I think we could all probably work on our networking just a little bit. I don't know if it was like being quarantined and in lockdown, but I'm like, I think maybe some of us forgot how to people a little bit. We might need a refresher. So yeah, I love that. I love the idea. And I certainly love the strategy that Mid-Continent Public Library entertains in everything they do. But yeah, let's learn how to network, and then let's network our butts off next week. Right. I love that.
That's kind of the nice thing though about GEW, because I can get anxiety walking in a room, and some people who know me would say that I don't have a shy bone in my body, but I do. But that's the nice thing is, maybe if you are intimidated, if you are nervous to go out, call a friend first off, see if somebody will go with you, or start with a session, because it's much scarier to walk into a room with just people than it is to have a dedicated room that you're going to sit down. These rooms are not, they're 30 to 40 people. It's not overwhelming. And I think sometimes people don't come because they're scared. And somebody that can have really bad social anxiety. And I'm telling, that is the best way to do it. Find your classes, check in. We will walk you to wherever you need to go. These aren't big rooms. And then you can just kind of move throughout the day.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot less scary than other environments you could certainly be in. And I'll also tell you, so within the innovator community, every year it happens multiple times. We're going to have threads running about what's happening in global entrepreneurship throughout the week. People will come in and say, hey, here's my session. And then somebody will comment. And one of the really, really useful things that happens when we see that activity start to ramp up during actual Global Entrepreneurship Week is our members make connections. So, definitely make a concerted effort to connect with people in digital spaces so that you might feel more comfortable than connecting with them in physical spaces, right? But keep an eye out for those, because we definitely see them every year. And it's a really, really great way for our members to meet each other and introduce each other to their thought leadership. So I do love that. Now, again, I'm going to take us back out to kind of the 10,000 foot view, and we're almost done here, folks. If you're playing at home, don't forget to put your questions into the comments, questions, thoughts. We're not too picky, but feel free. I always love putting experts in front of people and then saying, do things, have fun, knock yourself out. That's kind of what we're hoping. In the meantime, one of the things, like I said, I'm going to back us out a little bit, and I'm going to ask you, if you are a new person, GEW is a great way to engage. What are some other ways that you can engage with the ecosystem? What are some kind of low pressure connection points?
I mean, I would say if you started a business or thinking about starting a business, reach out to one of our navigators. It's really easy. You go online, you can read about all 6 of them. They are all active entrepreneurs. They're passionate about helping other entrepreneurs. I mean, our staff meetings on Monday are so exciting because we're talking about who's starting what, who needs help with what, and we just all work together to find the best resources for our clients. So it's really easy. You go online, you can make your appointment, and it's fun because sometimes navigators will share like, oh, I had a meeting with someone and they told me that I'm the first person they've told that they want to start this business. So I think that we're a safe place to come and share your idea or share your challenges. And you'll walk away with an action plan with steps on who to connect with and what to do next. So I think that's an easy way. I think some of our partners have great networking opportunities. Like I mentioned, sessions every Wednesday at Keystone, free. You get access to all kinds of speakers, from very entrepreneur focused content to jazz, the history of jazz. And I mean, so all kinds of fun things to go listen to there. And then we get a lot of messages just saying, hey, I'm new to the community, or I just moved to Kansas City. How do I get engaged? And so I love having, as I'm sure you do, Lauren, those kind of coffees where you're just getting to know someone. And then I usually send them with a list of people to connect with and have their next coffee with. So I think that, like we talked about in the beginning, it's a warm, welcoming community. So, just reach out.
Once you're in, you're really, really, really in my experience.
Yep.
You got to do the work to get that intro. But Callie, how about you?
I feel like I would just reiterate what Becca said. I think that those are 2 great ways. I think the Navigator program has just been so great. I think the thing you need the most when you're an entrepreneur starting out is just to talk to somebody. And so it's like we're going back to, instead of continuing to go the digital route, we're like, you know what, let's go back 20 years, which is like what everyone wants, they crave it, and it's helpful. And so that's kind of where I would start as well.
Yeah. So we've talked about 1 million cups, and like I said, I moved here from St. Louis. You cannot send me back. I'm all in for KC. But when I first moved here, my entry points were Global Entrepreneurship Week, Village Square, which is now defunct, but it was the co-working space that Kansas City Startup Foundation, now Startland, managed. But then 1 million cups. That was my other one. And then I see that Cynthia is working her magic behind the scenes and has just posted the resource rail, which just such an incredible resource. When I am pointing people who are thinking about maybe becoming an entrepreneur, or the hobbyist who refuses to say that they're an entrepreneur, I'm like, if you're making money, you're an entrepreneur. Here you go. But I always send people to the resource rail, and I love the recommendation for network navigators. Again, we definitely have some members of Innovator KC who serve in that capacity. So connect with them, please. But just an excellent, tremendous job in connecting our entrepreneurial community to resources and knowledge and connections and all of the things that they need to thrive. Thank you both so much for the work that you do. It's just so appreciated. And so I am going to go ahead and ask, do you have any closing thoughts? Anything else that you would like to share that we haven't already covered? I mean,
I guess I am going to make a plug.
Let's hear it.
So this Monday, ESO Day, which has always been the Monday of GEW, focused on ESOs, is really open to all stakeholders in the ecosystem. It's forging the future. We're coming together and we're going to be identifying projects. So it's going to be cross-organization projects, easy things. We're not trying to add on a bunch of stuff, but really just watching a community come together and identify what they're passionate about, what they can offer, and then turning those into tangible projects. And so it'll be a working session. It's at Kaufman Foundation Conference Center on Monday from 8:30 to 2:30. So we'd love to see entrepreneurs there. We have lenders coming, universities. So kind of want to see all of those people that make the ecosystem what it is.
Yeah. I'll be there. Becca, Callie, will you both be there? I feel like you will both be there.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I will be.
Oh, Callie won't.
I'll be schlepping stuff from here to Union Station. I'll be event extraordinaire this week, or next week. But my ask would be, if you are going to GEW or you have a session, if you could share that you have a session, or you could share with your community that you're going, because a lot of times people just don't know. And so we find like the best, obviously we do our traditional marketing efforts, but we find that, word of mouth is so great. And we really appreciate that work that our speakers do and our attendees do. And so that would be my ask.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so easy to share on social media. There's that meme that goes around periodically, like the ways to support an entrepreneur that aren't financial. And it's like, you don't always have to buy stuff. You can definitely shout from the rooftops, right? So yeah, please do that. If you are a speaker, if you have friends who are speakers, if you are interested in attending a session, share alike. We don't gatekeep information around this community, do we? But no, I cannot thank you enough, Becca, Callie, for taking time out of your, what must be an extraordinarily busy day. And please note that Becca is speaking to us from a hotel lobby. So thank you. I would like to honor and acknowledge the fact that you are here and talking to us. We're going to share this out amongst our social media channels and hopefully get the good word out there about Global Entrepreneurship Week in support of all of the hefty and incredible work that both of you do. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us, and thank you for the work you do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, friends. And Cynthia, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, there's my face. Okay. Hi, Cynthia. I am going to. No, we're going to do this because I feel like this is Cynthia's thing. As far as announcements, I do need y'all to keep an eye out for gift guide applications. If I can get my life together, they're going to go out on Friday, and then they will be open. So keep an eye out for those. And then I do want to let everyone know, including our Innovator Enhanced members, we are actually suspending our next mentoring circle because it's on Thanksgiving. So we'll continue those in December. Now that I have done that, Cynthia, would you do me the honor of taking, because I'm so bad at it and she's so good at it.
You get it done. That's all. You just have to do the thing.
Take us away. No, I can't.
Oh my goodness. This conversation today was phenomenal. And if that doesn't encourage people to visit GEWKC.com, I don't know what will. So much goodness yet to come next week for Kansas City. And I can't wait to see what comes out of those who attend GEW. It's always been something that has filled my cup. And I wish that I wasn't running a marathon the day before it starts, because the thought of walking around Union Station after running 26.2 miles it was enough for me to not sign up. But I'm just going to glean from everybody else on what they learned this year in all of the sessions. So thank you again to Becca and Callie for sharing more about what's coming with GEW. And Lauren, I think it's time to close it. What you think?
She's gonna make me do it.
I am. You know it.
All right, friends.
What do you want them to do?
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, make sure to like, share, subscribe. Did I get all three? What did I
And
miss
a
one?
comment. We'll come
And
back to the comment.
and comment. Damn it. This is why I asked her to do it. She's going to make me excellent at this, and I really resent it. All right. Thank you all for watching, friends. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, to do all of the engagement so we can continue to do these things. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll catch you next time.